My name is Kyle, and I work with John.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I'm not.
I see you've got a new motorcycle.
You know, I did purchase this 2016 Kawasaki Versys from a man I know.
And how you like the bike?
You know, this is the nicest machine I've ever owned. Well maintained, new.
Yeah? How do you feel about the deal you made on it? Did you pay too much money?
You know, I didn't. I feel like I paid exactly the right price.
Well, it's pretty nice. Looks like it's been taken care of.
It has been, yeah. You know, I was the first person to ever ride it on a dirt road, I think. It was so clean when I bought it.
I understand that the first thing you did was let it fall over in the parking lot.
I did. You'll edit that out, right?
Let's see the damage here. So how did you feel when that happened?
Well, my first fear was you would find out. That was the first thing I thought. And then the second thing was the ice cream shop full of people staring at me.
With your bike laying on the parking lot?
Laying in the roadway. The trunk was unlocked, so all of my personal possessions just rained out on the sidewalk.
I see. Why didn't you, text the former owner when that happened, let him know?
Shame, embarrassment, sadness. A lot of reasons, John.
Hey folks, this is John. I'm with you here in the Ozarks Backroads Garage today. We've got our Tiger up on the jack stand today. We're going to add a top box on it, a Givi top box, and get ready to put some side cases on it. So stick around. We'll see about putting this Givi Outback top box on this 2019 Tiger 800 here. And here we've got our mounting kit, our Givi mounting kit. We've got the same old top plate, or mounting plate they've had for years. I guess it works good. They're hanging with it, and we got some brackets and some hardware here. And I've checked the instructions, done an inventory. I've got all the parts I need, so we'll get started on this. Givi has figured out how to get around the language barrier on their instructions for all the different countries. They just don't use any words. I believe the first thing we need to do is get the seat off, and then we'll remove 4 bolts here on this back plate that they've got installed on it from the factory. We'll get that off and then see about mounting the hardware for this top plate. All right, well, the first thing we got to do, we got a couple of brackets here. We've got our top plate off, the little plastic plate that comes to the deck, I guess. 4 screws, took that off. We got a couple of brackets that mount on here, and basically they go under this bolt and this bolt here. So we'll take those 2 bolts out, and then we've got new bolts for this and a new bolt and a spacer for this, and we'll mount this bracket here on this side, and this bracket's the same thing on this side. So we've got our bolts out here. We've got a new long bolt that comes through from the outside here, and then it takes a spacer, goes over it, and then our bracket goes over that, and the other end of the bracket sits up here on the other bolt we took out, and then we've got a nut right here on this bolt. And that'll mount the plate on this side, and then we've got the exact same thing on the other side with the other bracket. Just a mirror image. Okay, we've got our brackets mounted up here. Our next step is to drill 4 holes where these 4 bolts are going to go through our original deck cover. There'll be one up here and here and here and here. And the cover has pips made in it at the factory where to drill. So we'll go ahead and drill these holes and get them where these spacers will come up through here. That'll be our next step. We've got our plate, our holes drilled here for our spacers to come through. And I kind of did a test fit here. I've put all the 4 original screws back in it here to locate it. So these will go like this with these screws through the adapter plate. So that's what those big holes were for, was to allow those spacers to come up through this. Okay, so now we can take our original 4 chrome screws here and screw this plate, this top cover back down, the original top cover. We went ahead and tightened this cover plate back up. Now we've got 2 brackets that sit on top of these standoffs that we drilled the holes in the cover plate for here, or the cover. And they gave us some screws for them here. So these will go on here. So we'll put these 2 plates on. So here's the mounting plate. The final step here is to bolt this down. We got a nice little cap screw here with a washer that goes through our mounting plate, and then we got 4 of them for these 4 holes here. So we got a nut and a washer that goes on the bottom of them here, bottom of the stud or the bolt, and then we'll have to get a wrench on it to hold it. Get a wrench underneath there. Get the rest of our bolts in here. I think we'll have this plate installed. They'll give us some nice cute little decorative caps that fill these holes up. And that is the installation on the mounting plate for the Givi top case, the Outback top case. So now we need to have a look at this top case and see how it looks. Well, here's a look at our Give Trekker Outback box we're going to put on the Tiger. Kind of a cool little aluminum construction. Got some places you can strap stuff onto the top of it, it looks like. Some handles. Put that up, and we'll mount this up on the Tiger and have a look at it and see how it looks. This box mounts just like any other mono key mount on a Givi. You got a deal that slides under these 2 slides, and then it snaps down on this. So they're all the same. You can move the boxes from bike to bike as long as you got the mono key system, which I do. That's the installation of the box on the bike right there. Well, we've got another little add-on we're going to do here on the Tiger. I've got a Puig Touring windscreen I'm going to change out. Looks like it's about 4 inches taller up here, 2.5 or 3 inches wider on each side. So that ought to give a little bit better protection. If it's not too tall, I'll try not to cut the thing off before next season anyhow. At least give it a chance. But I think it'll lower down enough, I should be all right. We'll pop these screws out. I don't think there's too much to this. See if we can get this new one on here. Probably don't need to go crazy on these. I don't want to risk cracking your glass. All right, that goes way up in the air. There's a look at our new Givi or Puig windscreen, the tall touring screen on the Tiger. Nice and tall and wide. We'll see how that works out. Kind of take a look at it here. We got our Givi top box on it. Looking good. Maybe it'll look a little better, a little more proper when it gets the side panniers on it, the side cases. We'll see. Well, we're down on the creek. Took a little ride. We're out on the slight but capable Triumph Tiger 800 here. So we've got our new touring windscreen on there, and I've been riding for a couple of hours, and I gotta say I kind of like it. I think it's going to be all right.
So yeah, the windscreen seems to be pretty good. I've got it in the lowest setting here, and it seems to throw the air up over my helmet. I do get air on my arms, and it lets some air in my helmet. I usually leave the visor cracked open, and I'm getting pretty good air that way. So I think I'm gonna like it. And when it's all the way up, it throws it higher up over my head, but it really doesn't make that much difference. The Touring windscreen there from Puig, I think, is a good deal on the Tiger. I think it's going to work. I shouldn't have to cut it off. I can see over it when it's low, and I'm getting good air, so I don't think it'll overheat me in the summer when it's warm. I'm getting a lot of air right here, kind of coming up my arms, which is really nice. I'm not just sitting in a bubble of calm. I've got some air coming on me. No buffeting. It doesn't doesn't knock my helmet around or anything. There's nothing like that. I was kind of concerned it would. The stock screen had a hole cut in it right in here, let air through to keep low pressure from building up behind it, but I haven't had any of that, so I guess it doesn't really need it. The new Givi Outback, the Trekker Outback Top Box. I got everything I needed in that, so it's going to be okie dokie too. I think we're in good shape. If we had some side cases, we'd be ready to go somewhere. Well, I appreciate you all hanging out with me and checking out the install on the Givi Top Box and this Puig Touring windscreen we put on today. Invite you all to come back. We got more things to do, more places to go. Until I catch up with you again, you all take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you later.